All right, y'all, we back with another reaction right here on ABP Reactions. And right now, 50 Cent has sent a warning to Justin and Kristen Combs after announcing their new video that's coming about their pops. Let's see what's going on.
Oh boy, here we go, you guys. We officially have a doc off. That's right, you guys. In response to 50 Cent's doc about their father Diddy, Diddy's sons King Combs and Justin Combs came together and said, you know what? Since you want to paint a nasty narrative about a father, well, why don't we tell our side of the story? Yesterday, these guys released a trailer for their doc that they're going to be dropping soon. Here it is.
Procession of his children arriving in court for day one of their father's sex trafficking trial in New York. Hands gripped in solidarity.
Do you still believe your dad's innocent? How did you feel hearing that testimony? Have you apologized on behalf of your father? Do you believe your father's innocent? Do you still convinced your father's innocent?
Your daddy got 4 years! Your daddy got 4 years for abusing women! That's wrong! He should get more!
Fight this to the end. He's innocent. Not afraid of the charges. Nothing like the OJ all over again.
Hello. This is a prepaid collect call from Federal Correctional Institution, Fort Dix.
Now, you guys remember last month when Marlon...
They tried to build a little dramatic, you know what I mean? A little dramatic intro to the phone call of his dad calling in. Are you gonna get you a Zeus account to watch this, y'all? For those of y'all that seen that trailer, are you gonna get a Zeus account to now watch this documentary from the Sons? Let me know. Let me know.
Wayans caught backlash after his radio interview. One of his main reasons for not supporting the doc is because he felt like docs are all about painting narratives. Marlon Wayans said, if you don't like somebody, you can easily do a doc and make them look a certain way.
Okay.
In the documentary, there was insinuations of, you know, that Diddy possibly had something to do with both Tupac and Biggie. And, you know.
Who's telling the story, right? You can skew
people very close to the situation.
But you can create any narrative as a producer and as a director and as a storyteller. I can create a narrative. I could be like, you know what?
You have?
I could create a narrative.
Well,
I
see it all the time on reality shows.
Like,
nah,
reality shows, that's how they're creating
a narrative. It doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean it's true. I can get interviews. I can do this. I can get footage. And I could make you think this about that person.
Nah, for sure, yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. So for me, you know, I think, look, 50 and Puff have a long-term beef.
Well, looks like Diddy's sons, Christian and Justin Combs, they definitely learned a lot from the interview and said, you know what? Since 50's making our dad look like a monster, a big villain, why don't we put out a doc to make him look human? Now, this doc is being produced by none other than Zeus Network. That's right, you guys.
Why they use these pictures, though? Why they use the baddies, Natalie Nunn, and I don't know the fat girl name, but that's funny.
The network that shows you nothing but scandalous women in bikinis doing absolutely nothing productive but fighting each other.
Oh
now, Zeus
God.
Network caught a lot of backlash. A lot of people said, yo, we gotta cancel these guys. How can you want to platform something like this, especially when all the victims have came forward about...
See, that's not, well, I will say, I'm going to stop it right there. Okay. That's not, I don't feel like the brand alignment makes sense right here. If this is the story you want to tell to counter what 50 just dropped, The Reckoning, I don't think it looks good doing it on Zeus. Why? Not saying, listen, I love that you're going to a black-owned company. Salute. But I think to the public eye, it looks crazy because Zeus is known, like he just said right here, for having the shows with just bitches getting drunk and beating each other up and fighting and reckless shit and Ray J and his reckless content. So I don't think a lot of people are going to take it serious compared to you taking that shit to like somewhere where people would probably digest it a little better, being on a more, what some would say is a more professional platform compared to like what some would say ghetto and ratchet. Even though they're all making money over there, hear me out. And yeah, it's just the brand the story, if it was like a different story about y'all, the sons, and then the lifestyle y'all living, and y'all shooting a reality show about y'all, yeah, I would get that on Zeus. But this is the counter to the reckoning. That was just on Netflix. That was the #1 movie, the #1 watch shit on Netflix. And then you counter it with a show on Zeus. It don't line up. It don't line up, man.
Diddy. Now, after receiving a lot of backlash yesterday, this prompted the CEO of Zeus Network to speak out. Lamel Plummer put out this message. He said, yo, to be clear, this documentary series is centered on providing Justin and Christian the opportunity to share their personal story and lived experiences, particularly as their lives have also been directly impacted. This project is not intended to endorse, defend, or vindicate Diddy or any individual, nor does it seek to justify or minimize any actions that have been alleged or adjudicated. As a network, we believe in the importance of allowing individuals to speak for themselves, just as any credible network entering the documentary space does. Hey man, I like that excuse. When the house is on fire, you gotta blame everybody else. You gotta snitch. Hey you guys, Netflix also does it too. And don't forget about Hulu and also Tubi. They all do it. I love it. Now he goes on to say, our role is to provide a platform for stories to be told honestly and without prejudgment. What viewers will see is raw, real, and authentic storytelling. That is the essence of this project. We respectfully ask that the series not be prejudged before it is seen.
Too late, too late, too late. It's definitely prejudged, but you know. Listen, you got to put that motherfucker somewhere where people can see it, bro. Like, I don't feel like this is going to make a lot of people go buy a subscription, unless it's like a 7-day cancel. You know how they be doing them trial subscriptions? Unless it's one of those. Because the nigga like, who the fuck, what nigga you know watch baddies? Like, who? I don't even know what else is on Zeus. Shout out to Zeus. You done found your lane with the girls and you going crazy and you milking that shit. You're getting the money. You got one of the bitches now. It's your baby mama. You're fucking her, about to marry her. You found your lane and you're running it up. I saw you and Ray J get into it earlier. Now I see y'all doing business together. Maybe that was a play to get the hype up for a show y'all had coming. Is that where the Blueface show is going to live at? I see Blueface got a new one called Fresh Out or something. Fresh Out of Love. Is it going to live on Zeus? But, hey, man, listen. It's a lane for what they're doing, but putting the story of Diddy Combs to counter the reckoning in that lane is not a good fit in my eyes, just business-wise. Let me know what y'all think. Business-wise, do y'all think Diddy was like, go ahead and do it on Zeus? Or is that last resort because they probably tried to do it at other places and they shot it down? So they like, fuck it. At this point, we got to go somewhere. Zeus, will you take this? Yes? All right, fuck it.
Everyone will have the opportunity to watch, assess the content, and arrive at their own conclusions. AKA, we spent a shit ton of money on this doc. Please do not make any noise to get it canceled before we actually get a chance to put it out. Now, let's all be honest here, all right? This is a money grab. These guys have seen how much money these kinds of docs make, especially when you're telling the story from the villain side. Lamel knew this would go viral. He knew this would cause a lot of controversy, but yet he said, fuck it. If the money's there, let's do it. I promise you, nobody on this earth, nobody in this galaxy, nobody in this fucking Milky Way was sitting around wondering, hey man, I wonder what Christian Combs and Justin Combs are thinking about Diddy being locked up right now. Boy.
No fucking body. And that's why I was trying to tell the homies on Shame on You. They like, man, people want to hear the sons. They're gonna have compassion for them. They're gonna have sympathy for the sons. I said, no. If it's the daughters, you got a little angle right there, but that can't be on Zeus. The girls that's in high school, them, I get it. Or did they graduate? But I know they was in high school last I seen. I get it. Hearing their side of the story, because they don't have a tarnished brand yet. I feel like Christian Combs, he makes bad decisions, bad timings. Like, I feel like he kicked the 50 Cent shit back up with Diddy. 50 had fell off Diddy's ass for a second. After the arrest, and then Christian Combs came out with a diss song. And 50 poured fuel back on everything and lit a blaze. So I think if it was the girls on like a 60 Minutes interview, you know, because those 60-minute interviews go crazy. The daughters sitting down with 60 Minutes, that would win people hearts over. It got to be the proper platform, dog. It can't be a goddamn Zeus or No Jumper. It can't be that. You know what I mean? It can't be that. It got to be something where people who not coming to see destruction, which the Zeus Network is, people are coming to see fights and bitches fighting, getting drunk, shaking ass. They ain't got no sympathy for nothing over there. They don't give a fuck about what y'all talking about, man. What the fuck you mean?
I sure wish somebody would make a docuseries about their thoughts on it. And to be honest, you guys, I don't blame them. As a business, you gotta do what's going to make you money, whether positive or negative. Lamel knows his target audience. The man knows that people that don't fuck with his network, the Zeus Network, they're probably not gonna tune in. But people that subscribe to his network, people that watch baddies, people that enjoy ratchet shit, 9 times out of 10, despite the controversy, they're all gonna tune into the docuseries. Now, the man of the hour, 50 Cent, spoke out against it. 50 Cent said, wow, I want to see this show. I'm not sure this was a good idea.
Right.
Now, if you're 50, you know exactly what Diddy's trying to do with this doc. He's trying to control the narrative and make you look crazy for putting out the initial doc on him. And what better way to tug people's heartstrings and get sympathy than using your own kids? Unfortunately for them, if this doc does not include these guys having anything to say about Diddy being convicted, or if these guys do not come out and say, yo, our dad was wrong, I don't think people are really gonna care for it. I'm sorry, you can't put out this doc and not mention that your dad was absolutely wrong. So let's see how this goes. You guys get in the comments below. Are you guys going to be watching this doc? And do you guys agree with 50 Cent that this doc was a terrible idea? Like this video, subscribe to my channel.
Let's go, Chick Smooth. Shout out Chick Smooth. Shout out Chick Smooth, man. Hey, me personally, and I'm just being honest, no hate, no shade, no none of that. You know what I mean? Free that man, free her. Listen, man, listen. Now, what he did, the father being taken away from his children, it's fucked up. But at the end of the day, you made your decisions, you made your actions. You got to lay in the bed you made. You got to lay in the bed you made. That's just what you learn. Like, you can't sit here and do all this crime and all this shit. We learned that. We street niggas, we know that, right? You got to take what come with the shit. So, you know, the whole sympathy shit, these two niggas dropping a documentary, I don't think it's gonna help in no kind of way. Just because I don't think Zeus is gonna put the time and effort that 50 put into that reckoning and getting real people to tell real stories. Because we all looked at Diddy already in the light of being a boss, being a CEO, being a king of New York, being the top nigga in you know, executive in hip hop. So we know all those stories already. We see all that. We saw the praises for so long. But what, 3 decades? We saw the praises. So coming out with a documentary, just giving praises, we're gonna be like, all right, we saw that. What made the reckoning impact is we saw the other side, the dark stories. The shit a lot of people didn't know. It was out there though. Gene Deal had that shit out there for everybody, but nobody, a lot of people wasn't listening. But, and then over the years, you know how this shit go in music and entertainment, or just as a fan of shit, you hear about certain things with celebrities they've been doing or that they're known for. You hear about it for years, but you don't hear stories about it. And then once they come out, you be like, damn, I've been hearing that for 20 years. Case in point, R. Kelly. How long was y'all hearing about the sex tape, him liking the little girls, all that? And it took 30 years before people was like, oh shit, he did? That shit was true? Like, nigga, you've been hearing it forever. So, you know, it's a lot of shit with Diddy you've been hearing forever. So a lot of those stories came out and they impacted. And he had the right platform. He had the right people. People felt bad for a lot of people in that video. You know, although you had a lot of niggas that hated that 50 Cent put his name on that, they like, oh, that's some sucker shit. But 50, he trying to end his enemy, man. He trying to kill his competition. So, you know, that's him. Let me know what y'all think, though. Are y'all going to watch this documentary from the Sons? Do y'all care to watch it? Do y'all care what they have to say? Let me know in the comment section, man. I'm gonna give y'all 2 seconds, smash a like. And as always, get ready for the next reaction.